Hello everyone. In this video, I'll walk you through in my activity called Interactive Quiz Game. We'll look at the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript step by step so you can understand how it works. So, let's get started. So let's start with my HTML file. So as you can see, it's named in activity1.html. So this file builds a basic structure for our quiz. So at the very top, we have the usual declaration and head. Then we include a page title, and then set up the viewpoint settings and link external CSS file called style.css. So now inside the body, we have a division with the ID quiz container, and this is the main box where all quiz content will appear. So this is the container, and first we have a heading that says quiz game. So this is the heading here, so quiz game. So next is a paragraph tag called with the ID question. So this is where the quiz questions will be displayed, and next is that below there's a div with the ID options, so where all answer buttons will appear dynamically. So and then we also have a paragraph with the ID feedback, so which tells the user if they got the answer right or wrong. Another paragraph with the ID score, so it will show the user's current score. And finally, there's a button with the ID next question, so which is hidden at first and also shows up after answering a question. And at the very bottom, we link our JavaScript file, the quiz.js, using the script tag, as you can see here. So that's my structure, my HTML, the HTML document. And next is about the styling. So as you can see, first in the body here, we set it like a modern font. So it's Arial sans serif, and center aligning the content. So yeah, we align it at center, and using a soft background color, so just like a white, something white. And then next we style the quiz container, so here. So it's centered with max width with 500 pixels, as you can see, 500 pixels. So we add a padding. A white background, a rounded corner, and a subtle box shadow to give it a card-like feel, as you can see here. Black shadow, the border features, the padding, the background. And next, our heading, as you can see, it uses dark gray color to stand out, as you can see here. So for the questions, we increase the font size a little bit, so it gives it spacing under that. So you can see 1.4 m. And then now the options, they're styled like clickable buttons. So they have a bright, you can see here, clickable buttons. So they have a bright blue background, as you can see here. So white text. The padding is 10 pixels, and round edges. So on hover, you can see here, the bottom gets darker blue, as you can see, yeah. So if you hover it, the color will be darker blue and giving it a nice interactive effects. So we also styled the feedback message, as you can see here, in red. The score in as you can see, the feedback message. So in red, the score in muted, like a gray, as you can see here. And the next button, which is green, as you can see. And now, so overall, the CSS makes everything visually appealing and organized. So now for the fun part here, my JavaScript. So this is called quiz.js. This is the heart of the quiz. So this is a list of questions that is stored in an array called quiz data. So each question is an object, as you can see this. So it contains a question, the options, and the correct answer, as you can see here. So this way we can easily look through each question during the quiz. So if you want to add more questions later, we can just another object here to this array. And then next is the here, as you can see here. Here we are storing references, so our HTML elements in variables, so we can update them later. So here, constant element, question element. So this is where questions will be displayed, and then options here, element. So we hold the answer buttons and a feedback element, so it shows whether the answer is correct or not, and the score element, so we'll show the updated score, and the next button, so it's the button to move to the next question. And then next is the here we declare here variables here. So these are simple variables to track what's happening in the quiz. So the current question index starts with 0, so it keeps tracks this keeps track of where we are in the quiz, so it starts from 0. So score also it starts from 0, so it will be increased each time the user gets a correct answer. And then we have a function here. Next is the function display question. So as you can see here. So first we grab the current question object from the quiz data, and then we update the question element to show the question's text. So as you can see here. So and then we clear it. We clear any old answers here. Next is you clear all the answers using the option element inner.html, and then we also reset the feedback message. Then we loop, as you can see, and we loop through the option for each one. We create a new button and then give it in the class option, so it looks styled, and then set the text of the button, as you can see here, and assign a click event using button that click, and then when click it called the check answer, so and passes the selected option. And finally we add append child. So this is how the button are created dynamically based on the question data. And then for the function, here we do another function here with a function check answer. As you can see here. So check answer. This function is triggered when a user clicks an option button. So then it compares it to the selected option. So if it matches, we display we have the fact here. So if it matches, it first gets a correct answer from the current question. Then it compares to the selected option. So if it matches, we display correct and increase the score. And then if not, we display wrong, incorrect. So we also update the score visually in on the page. So finally, we show the next question button and disable all the option buttons. So this prevents users from clicking again after answering. And next is the disable options. So this function disables all answer buttons after once is selected. So it just resets. So we use a query selector all to grab all the buttons with a class option and loop through them set to disable equals to true. And then next is moving to the next question. As you can see here, moving to the next question. So where the next question is button is click. So we move to the next question. If you're still in the quiz, we call it display question. So to follow the next one, we also hide the button again until the next answer is click. So once we reach the end of the quiz, it shows the show final score. So display final score, as you can see here. So this shows the result. So this function ends the quiz, so it updates all the questions to say quiz completed and removes all answer buttons. So clear any leftover messages and hides the next button. So at this point, that's it. That's all. Okay, let's go to my quiz. So this is my quiz game. So let's answer this. As you can see, what is the result? So click the answer.